I'm just going to start now, Tineka, vibrating this into your field.
Okay, thank you.
I'll let Guy take over.
So, Tineka, I receive as much as I am given in everything I create in my life. I am fully connected to my inner desires and my true purpose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go quiet for a few seconds to make a connection with you and with the source as well, a higher power, so that we can do the work. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look in your subconscious mind and see subconsciously how aligned you are to manifesting that goal in your life, how much of your resources are currently being put into manifesting that. And we'll work that out as a percentage. And then the work that we do will be to bring you up as high as possible into alignment with that goal.
Okay, great.
Okay. So give me a few seconds to make a connection. Okay, we are connected, you and I. So I'm going to ask your subconscious mind, using muscle testing, to what extent you're connected, you're aligned with the goal of receiving as much as you're given in everything you create in life, and being fully connected to your inner desires and true purpose. Well, already I'm seeing it's less than 50%.
Okay.
It's actually less than 40%. But it's more than 30, which is good. It's 34%. You're 34% aligned to it. Abby, has the vibration stopped?
Yeah, I don't know why that happened, but anyway, it's still running now. It's running again now. I don't know, it didn't fully go through. It's continuing.
So what I'm checking now, whether it would be most beneficial to you to work with the emotion code, which is just identifying trapped emotions, or the body code, which can go for a much bigger range of imbalances. And I'm getting the body code, and I would normally do that anyway.
Okay.
What I would normally do if I was seeing you for the first time is I would release a thing called a heart wall, which is basically the heart wall is an invisible energetic barrier that we all put up in front of our hearts to protect our hearts at moments of life that are really difficult. So let's say you're in a traumatic relationship or something like that. The only way that you can survive is to numb yourself to some of the experience and some of the feeling of going through that. So everybody's had some sort of experience that's caused us to put up a heart wall. And the heart wall is made up of trapped emotions. And one of the most powerful and most foundational things we can do with the body code is to release this heart wall. But it takes a while, so we can't actually do that today because it's usually spread over a number of sessions and can be interspersed with other work as well. But anyway, we're going to work directly on this affirmation to try and increase you. Let's see if we can get it at least towards half before we finish. Okay. Although that's quite a big jump in a short time, but let's see. So I'll ask the first few out loud so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to ask your subconscious mind now, does Tineka have an imbalance that we can release to help align her with this affirmation, with this goal? And the answer is yes. So I'm going to find this in a moment. The best thing that you can do, the thing that you could do that would help most to turbocharge the work at this moment, is to connect with the experience that you will have. What will it feel like when you are fully giving as much as you're receiving in everything you create, and you're fully connected to your inner desires and true purpose? What will the experience of that be like? So you don't need to tell me, but try and conjure that up. You know, it probably comes from the same place as that part of you that came up with this goal in the first place. When you were coming up this goal, this was something that you were really wanting. Try and connect with that not the feeling that it's lacking and you want it, but the feeling that you will have when it's fulfilled. And while you're doing that, I'm going to find out what the first imbalance is that we need to release. it's a misalignment. So one of the things that we find in the body code are tiny structural misalignments in the body, which are just microscopic, that we can actually address in on an energetic level. So we're going to find out what sort of it's actually one of the most common. So I've got a list here of the 6 most common misalignments, and it's one of those, and it's actually the uterus. So there's a misalignment in the uterus here.
Okay.
So I'm just making a note of this, and if you would like, you just send me your email address at the end, and I'll send you the notes of what we've covered today.
Thank you.
Did somebody say something? I'm.
1 second, guy. I'm just unmuting you because I don't know who it was. Just going to ask you to unmute yourself.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
You know what? Someone's written on the face. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Angie on the Facebook group. The gremlins are having fun tonight.
Yes. Gosh. Okay. So with the emotion code, if we're just finding trapped emotions, we'd find an emotion and release it. However, when we're working with the body code, some of the imbalances that we find are a little more intricate. Like an imbalance in the body is likely to be supported by other imbalances. And so if we just correct the uterus misalignment and we don't look what's behind it, holding it in place, the chances are the same misalignment will come back, or another misalignment will come up which will do different damage to you, or hold you back in different ways. So what I always ask before we actually address the imbalance is, are there any additional imbalances behind it that are contributing to it being there? And the answer is usually yes, and in this case it's yes. So we're going to see what is behind it, and in this case it's another misalignment. So there's a second misalignment behind the uterus misalignment, and this time it's an organ. Oh no, yes, it is an organ in the body. Let me just find out which one it is. It's actually the heart. There's a heart misalignment. Okay, so again we see what's behind that, and this time what's behind it is a trapped emotion. So this is an emotion that you've repressed at some part of your life, and the trapped emotion is almost always, I think it's only been 2 or 3 times I've ever found that it hasn't been at the base. There's usually nothing beyond a trapped emotion, nothing behind it. So I'm going to tell you what that emotion is in just a second. It's actually an experience of horror that you had. And we do need to find out some more information about that. We need to know the age that you were when this horror occurred. So, Tineka, how old are you now? If that's not a rude question.
No, I'm 57.
Okay, 57. So we'll start about halfway. So,
56. Sorry, I will be 57 this year.
Okay,
Sorry.
so we'll start at a little more than halfway. And we'll ask, was Tineka more than 30 when she had this experience? No. Was she more than 20? No. Was she more than 10? No. Was she more than 5? Yes. So this was from very young. It's actually from age 6. An experience of horror when you're age 6. And we don't know what it was, because it could be something truly horrific. Or when you're 6 years old and you can't find your favourite toy, you have an experience of horror. Yeah. So yeah. we don't know. And we don't need to know. That's what I really like about this. We don't need the details of all of this. So now we've found this trapped emotion. There's nothing behind it. So I'm just going to release that. So give me a few seconds and we'll release this trapped emotion from your system. So that horror has now been released. The energy that was trapped in your body from this experience of horror at the age of 6 is not there anymore. So now we can go back up to the heart misalignment that we found. There's nothing more behind that. There was just that one trapped emotion behind it. So we're now going to correct that misalignment of your heart. So again, give me a second. So that's been done, and we're going to do the same now with the uterus misalignment. There we go. So that's the first batch of imbalances completed.
Thank
So
you.
now, after each batch of imbalances, because different people can support different amounts of work done on them at any one time. For occasionally that will be enough. The person will say, it's very low, but the person might say, that's it, I'm not able to do any more today. So I'm always checking in with your body and asking what you can cope with at each time. I'm asking, is it okay to continue? And it is. So I'm going to ask again to your subconscious, is there an imbalance we can address for Tineka, which will help align her with the goal of receiving as much as she's given in everything she creates in her life, and being fully connected to her inner desires and her true purpose. And it's connecting with you also. It's connecting with what you're experiencing in this moment when you're conceptualizing this. And the answer is yes. And this time we have a pathogen, some form of pathogen that's there. In this case, the pathogen it's not an active pathogen. It's not a pathogen that's currently alive in your body. It's actually the energetic imprint of a pathogen that's been with you in the past. So we need to find out what type of pathogen it is.
And may I ask what is a pathogen?
A pathogen, it's like a bug, a virus or a bacteria or a mold or something like that.
Okay. Thank you.
In this case, it's a fungus. It's the energy of a fungus. So I'm just making a note of it so I can send you the notes at the end. And actually, usually, we don't need to know anything about this, but we do need to know more about this fungus. And the reason we need to know more about it is because in this case, it wasn't a fungus that you had. It was the energy of a fungus that was inherited from a parent, and it was actually inherited from your dad. And he inherited this himself, and he received it from his mum.
Okay.
And that's where it originated. It originated from your paternal grandmother. Okay, so we'll come back to that, but first, again, we're going to see what's behind it.
Okay.
We have a misalignment. And this time it's a misalignment of one of your chakras, one of your energy centers.
Okay.
And again, it's the heart chakra, so there's a heart theme in this work today. So let's see what's behind that. And behind that we have a trapped emotion, so it's coming to the end of this batch. And it's nervousness. So give me a moment and I'll release this nervousness. Okay, that's done. So this is all that was behind the heart chakra, so we can now realign the heart chakra. And we can now release the energy of this fungus. When it's inherited, it takes a little longer to release, but when it is released, it should also be released at the same time from any parents parents who might still be alive, and also from anybody else who they pass this on to.
Okay.
So because this goes 3 generations back, it could be cousins and second cousins and things like this. So let's release that. So that fungus energy has been released now. So we can go on. We could also stop at any time. So Abby, just jump in when you think it's enough. That's fine.
I think it's flowing pretty nicely right now, and I think a lot of people here are getting a lot out of it. So if you want to continue, it would be nice just for a bit longer.
Let's go on.
Yeah.
So let's see, is there another imbalance we can address to help align Tineka with the goal of receiving as much as she's given in everything she creates in her life and being fully connected to her inner desires and true purposes? Yes, true purpose, sorry, yeah. Okay, this time it's something to do with nutrition or lifestyle. It's lifestyle. Okay, there's something about your magnetic field not being in balance. So there's a deficiency in your magnetic field.
Okay.
So you're not getting as much of magnetic influence as would be ideal. So give me a second and we'll quantify that. So let's see. It's only an 11% deficiency, so it's not dramatic. And we're going to see what's behind it so that we can, you know, very often if we release the imbalances that are behind it, it goes dramatically down anyway.
Okay.
So let's find out what's behind this magnetic field deficiency. So we have an imbalance in one of the circuits or systems of the body. It's actually one of your body cycles. It's the diurnal cycle. This is the daily flow of energy to the meridians. So the meridians are the energy channels of the body. Yeah. There's usually one associated with each of the organs, plus some others. And the energy of the body works like a clock. So the energy goes, you know, it flows and serves one of the meridians in 2-hour blocks through the day. So what we're going to find out is where in the cycle you're in balance. Where's the blockage? Where's the part that's disrupting it? 1 second. Just making a note here. So we're going to find out what the window is. So it's not morning. So it's not 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. So it's somewhere between. It's actually somewhere between 5 and 11 p.m. It's between 7 and 9 p.m. I think that's the pericardium meridian around the heart. 7 to 9. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's the time when you should be like winding down in the evening. And just, you know, but there's an imbalance there. And what's really interesting is often when this comes up with clients, you know, you might say between 3 and 5 in the afternoon, and they go, yes, but that's when my headaches come on. Or you might say between 3 and 5 in the morning and say, oh yes, but that's when I wake up and I can't go back to sleep. So I just want to ask you, do you recognize anything about this 7 to 9 p.m. slot?
7 to 9, that's on the evening, eh?
Yeah.
It's more that I'm tired then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
sorry.
my clock. Sorry.
No problem. Okay, so we're going to sort that out as well. We're going to see what's behind that. Okay, we have a misalignment behind that. So this one's a little more intricate than the others. It's not an organ this time, it's one of your glands. It's a brain gland, one of the glands in the brain. It's the pituitary gland. So, and now we get the trapped emotion. Okay, so let's make a note. It's actually despair. So let's release it. That's done. So again, that's the only one there. So we can now move back up the list and correct the pituitary gland misalignment first. Okay, that's done. We can now reset the pericardium energy of the journal cycle between the 7 to 9 p.m. window. That's done. And now we go back to this magnetic field deficiency, and that's gone. It's gone. There's no deficiency anymore. It's gone as a result of that. It's always a good idea, you know, if you have any magnetic, because we're all underexposed to magnets. And if you have any, you know, some people wear insoles. If you can find a good brand, insoles made of magnets, and you know, people use magnets in all sorts. Some people have bedding that's all got sort of subtle magnets in the bedding, and might be a bit extreme. But it's always a good idea to supplement. Abby, do we want to do another?
I think that feels like very well rounded actually, and it's given everyone a great demo of what and how you can connect the body code and the coaching module, and probably some of the other modules as well, I'm sure, with aura and resonance.
Yeah.
I mean, I am just absolutely fascinated on how you do it.
Okay. Yeah, so I didn't explain this at the beginning. I do it with muscle testing. So once I've made the connection with Tineka's subconscious mind, I use my fingers. So this is my favorite method. Can you see this?
Yes.
So I sort of put my fingers in ring, and I sort of pull, you know, press them against each other. If the fingers hold, then the answer is a yes. If they come apart, then it's a no. And so that's how I get the yes or no answers, and that's how I get navigated through the you know, flows that I have, the process flows, to understand which emotion or which imbalance is there at any point. And when we do the percentages, like we're going to do now, to see what's changed as a result of this combined with the Healy, it may not be dramatic because it's just a few minutes and it's one set of vibrations and just a few imbalances, but there should have been a small shift at least. But then I'll do it I'll do it out loud so you can see the questions I'm asking to get to the percentage. So is Tineka aligned with the goal of receiving as much as she's given in everything she creates in life, and being fully connected to her inner desires and true purposes? The answer is no. Now what that means is that it's still less than 50%, which is what I'd expect because it started at 34. But so now let's see, is Tineka more than 40% aligned to that goal? And the answer is yes. Is she more than 45%? No. Okay, is it 41, 40, 42%? So it's gone up 8%. But it was just a few minutes.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
There we go.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Guy. That was like very intriguing on how you do your sessions. I'm going to keep this running for you, Tineka. I'm just going to stop sharing the screen for a second.